Folks, 45 to 60, 1 in 5, more than 1 in 5. Even among senior citizens, 60 on up, 1 in 8 starseed. So you can see what's happening. There's a kind of an ascending curve, what I call a tidal wave of incoming star kids. And as it continues, we're rapidly seeing the point where the entire human race will be made up of such individuals. And if there's ever a question about whether we need to redo society in a radical way, that will clearly be the case. I want to move very rapidly to some developments that have to do with the star nations and Earth. First of all, the star nations have recently revealed some information, declassified, if you will, some information that Earth governments were never going to tell you. The star nations have a mission of coming here and doing this rapid upgrade of humankind. In some instances, they do this by visiting adults and working with the reproductive material so that when they later on go on to have children, these children are much more advanced. In other instances, the upgrade happens because a star visitor decides to incarnate as a human being this time around and live a human lifetime and try and help out here because they tend to bring with them just a little bit more intelligence and awareness and psychic abilities than the average human, so that even when they incarnate in a human body, they bring some of that extra energy and ability with them. The star nations have experienced hostilities from 4 governments on Earth while they were pursuing this mission of contacting people and doing the biological upgrading, and with those who are already upgraded or incarnated, visiting them, reminding them of who they were, what they were in a previous lifetime, that they are special, that they're going to grow up and have a special mission to help transform society. All of this was getting in the way because these governments were shooting down these craft. And so the star visitors wanted to achieve a ceasefire. So they met with the governments of the US, Russia, China, and Council of Europe, Association of European States. And in 1964, April 14th, 1964, met on the Texas-New Mexico border underneath a mountain range 15 stories down in an undeclared governmental installation, and worked out a ceasefire agreement. And the humans wanted some, governments wanted some things in exchange for this. Information, scientific and technical information. And they wanted the star visitors to pre-declare their flight routes and to otherwise stay at a very high altitude, which allowed the governments to deny that UFOs are real while they were otherwise logging the fact that they were visiting. They also proceeded to violate this agreement from time to time whenever they felt like, and still shoot down an occasional craft when they thought they could get away with it and claim it was an accident, and harvest the craft for working back engineering technology out of it. This arrangement went on until very recently. There is a group that Dr. Wolf, from my friend, who was a government insider in UFO matters, used to describe a loose coalition of people that are running our society internationally, the Cabal. You might call them the shadow government, New World Order, Illuminati, or whatever. This group has been responsible for the major part of the aggressive industrial pollution of the earth, tight control over people, keeping people in ignorance by owning the media, putting their own people in government so that governments kowtow to their agenda, owning and running the major financial organizations, which is also a source of their power, and generally helping drive us to extinction as a species, although that was not their formal agenda. The situation got so bad that the Star Nations decided to hold a formal hearing on this cabal in September 29th of last year. Present at that hearing were Wendy Powers, myself, and a couple others, Frank and Marja, folks from the eastern United States, and some star visitors, one of whom you will hear from shortly. Long story short, the Cabal were found guilty of violation of numerous of the 11 spiritual and 11 universal laws, and the Star Nations found that they were thereby ethically and karmically free to start discriminating against the Cabal. Before that, they felt they had to treat them like any other human because, after all, you know, most humans are fairly messed up from star visitor standards. Ethically, they didn't feel they were entitled to discriminate, but after this formal conviction on charges, they did feel they could, so they've now pulled back. There will be no more communication with them. They will not get information. Any government or other organization that is in interface with the star visitors, that there's a Cabal person in, they have to get rid of that person, or that organization will be cut out of the information loop. It's my belief that over time this will serve to gradually disempower the Cabal, because they will lose what has been a primary source of their power and information edge over the rest of us. While the Starseeds and others of goodwill who continue to maintain contact with the Star Nations are open to their assistance will surge forward. The Star Nations have done two other things I want to point to, and then we will reach our conclusion here. One of which is that they've declared the agreement of 1964 null and void. I won't bore you with all the legal details, but suffice to say the violations and the misrepresentation of good faith by the four governments are so blatant for so long that it's been declared now null and void. The other thing is that the Star Nations have decided they want a new agreement with humankind, not fronted by these four corrupt governments, but with truly the entire human race. So they're now engaged on a grassroots, going to humans around the globe and sampling opinion of what people want to see in the way of an agreement between humans and Star Nations. So if any of you get a visit, nighttime or daytime, asking your 2 cents worth, please contribute. When that's concluded, they will then be in a position to work on establishing a new agreement that will inaugurate a period of real cooperation without governments getting in the way. Because of the importance of what you're going to hear next, I'm going to conclude now and defer time to Wendy Powers, who will very briefly speak for herself, but will mostly give her time to Councillor Mayata, one of the members of the Star Nations High Council, who will have a message for those assembled here. I've worked with Wendy and Councillor Mayata and the Councillor for the Watchers many times, and have seen things they have said independently verified in succeeding events or other kinds of verifications, such as information that a regular Earthling wouldn't know.